So today's lesson is lesson 3-3. We are going to subtract rational numbers. First thing is I want to show you part of a subtraction video.
If subtraction got you down, turn it into addition. It is my mission, this musician, learning through repetition. You gotta keep, change. Too many minus signs can drive me insane. You gotta keep, change. Even though it's addition, your answer will be the same. When you got a problem with a lot of minus signs, don't be stressing. I can help you realize you can make it easier with keep, change. Math it should not cause you pain. Here are the 3 steps I'll explain. Step 1, keep the first number the same. Step 2, turn the minus to a plus, rearrange. Step 3, then it's the end of KCC. Make the last number the opposite than ADD. Keep, change. Too many minus signs can drive me insane. You gotta keep, change. Even though it's addition, your answer will be the same. You gotta keep, change. Too many minus signs can drive me insane. You gotta keep, change. Even though it's addition, your answer will be the same.
All right, so here to subtract rational numbers in different forms, we want to write the numbers in the same form and then subtract. And then you will add the opposite. And that's the reminder, keep, change. Okay? So you keep the first number the same. The subtraction changes to addition, and then the second number changes to the opposite. So if it's a positive, change to a negative. If it's a negative, it changes to a positive. So for example 1, we have negative 1a, we have negative 4.2 minus 3.57. Now, are they in the same form? They're both decimals. So all we have to do is keep, change. You with me? So we're going to keep the first number. The subtraction becomes addition. And the second number becomes a negative. So here we have a negative plus a negative is a, so you're going to have a negative. And then what do I do with the numbers? Then you add them. Is everybody clear? So you're going to write negative. And then, hey, guess what? You can use your calculator. Put in your calculator because you're just going to add them. 4.2 plus 3.57. So we end up with a negative 7 77/100ths. All right, take 1 minute and do example 1b with your table partners. Here is our work. So we're going to keep, change. The first number, 3.58, stays the same. The subtraction becomes addition. And the negative 2.9 becomes a positive 4.9. And then you just use the rules for addition. So positive plus a positive is going to give me a positive. Remember, apples plus more apples does not give you oranges. You clear? So positive plus a positive is equal to a positive. Okay? And then you just add them together and you get 6.48. All right, example 2a and b. Now we've got fractions. Okay, now I'm going to tell you that you can change fractions to decimals if it's not a repeating decimal, or you can change decimals to fractions if you are so inclined. Now, I'm going to show you how to show the work, but I'm also, when we flip our classroom, I'm going to show you how to put the numbers in the calculator as fractions. Is everybody clear? So the first thing we want to do, just like we did in the last time, is we want to change all of our mixed numbers to improper fractions. You guys remember how to do it? Let me remind you. In this direction, we're going to multiply. And in this direction, we're going to add. Very good. So 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7. So this is going to be 7 halves. The denominator stays the same. Okay? And then subtract. And now we have a negative, so we're going to put negative in there in parentheses. And now 1 times 10 is 10 plus 3 is 13. So this is going to be 13 tenths. Is everybody with me? Now, when we're adding fractions, you remember we need to have what? Good. We need to have common denominators, right? We need to have common denominators. So what is the common denominator of 2 and 10? 10, because both of those numbers can be divided into 10, right? Does that make sense? So the second fraction has already had a denominator of 10. What do I have to do to the first number? By 5. Very good. Very good. So we're going to multiply times 5. So let's do it. Oops, let me close that. So 7 times 5 is 35. So this is going to be 35 tenths. I'm going to start, tenths. Minus a negative 13 tenths. So now what do I do with this? Keep, change, change. You guys use your colors, okay? So here, plus positive. And now we have a positive plus a positive is a positive. Very good. And what do I do to the numbers? Add them. So 35 plus 13 is 48. The denominator stays the same. You do not add the denominators. Is everybody clear? Now, can I change that? I can change it back to a mixed number. So how many times does 10 go into 48? 4 times with how many left over? 8. So this is going to be 4 and 8 tenths. And now, is that my final answer? No. Because can I simplify it? Yes. So what can I divide 8 and 10 by? Both. 2. So we're going to divide by 2, divide by 2, and now my final answer is 4 and 4/5. All right, so why don't you take, I'm going to give you 2 minutes to do example 2B, okay? Do that with your table partners. All right, so here you first want to change them both to improper fractions. Well, the first one's already a over b, so you don't have to change that to an improper fraction. Just bring down the negative 1/2, right? Then we have the 2 and 2/5. We need to change that to an improper fraction. And that gives us 12/5. And then you do the keep, change, change. Then you do the keep, change, change. And we end up with negative 29 tenths. And then we change that back to a mixed number. All right, so we're going to do example 2B on the calculator. So we're going to put in a negative 1/2. So you put in 1, then you press the fraction button. Everybody see where the fraction button is? It's the ABC. And then that's your fraction bar right there. And then you put in 2. So that's 1/2. But we want it to be negative, right? So we're going to press the positive negative button. So that's how negative 1/2 looks. Is everybody with me? So now we're going to subtract, so minus, and now we're going to type in 2 2/5. You ready? So you type in 2, then the fraction, and then another 2, and then another fraction, and then this is going to be your C, 2/5. So that's what 2 2/5 looks like. And there we press equals, and we get negative 2 9/10. Isn't that what my answer was? All right, very good. So example 3 says, a cave explorer starts an expedition at 3 3/4 meters below sea level. 3 3/4 meters below sea level. Then he descends, the cave explorer descends. What does descend mean? Yeah, so you go down even farther. So if I'm going further down, is that going to be a positive or a negative? Or is that going to be addition or subtract? Very good. So we're starting with a negative because we're already below sea level, right? So we're starting with a negative 3 3/4. And then we're going to subtract 4.2. Is everybody good? So now, do I have to do keep change because I know how to use my calculator? No, you just use your calculator, right? So go ahead and do this problem, and then we'll see what we get. So we get negative 7.95, and this is meters, and that's below sea level.